everything you're doing is working.
Yep.
So whatever you're doing is giving you the results.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
choosing what you do is going to affect what you get. It's up to us to decide, is this what I want? And if not, how am I going to prioritize? How am I going to organize? How am I going to schedule and make those choices that gives me.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell. What's going on?
Yeah. So when we were talking this morning a little bit about the podcast episode, before we got into that, I was telling you about my adventure yesterday.
Yeah, you were choring.
I was choring.
Yeah.
So it's that time of year where you start putting your garden to bed. And, well, I'll be honest, most people have done it already. I think your mom put hers, cleared it out and did everything. How many weeks ago?
Several.
It's been a while.
Yeah. She can just kind of plug away at it. It literally, there were some flurries this morning.
There was.
It's that cold now.
It is. Yes. So I was out there yesterday doing it, cutting down my hops vine and getting things out of the planters and things like that. I'm telling you all this because I got to a point where I was putting the cushions away from our deck set, and we have this one set of wicker chairs, and I was uncovering them, putting the pillows away and moving them, and I thought, this is great. This is fine. I'm going to put it into the garage. And I got to the second of two chairs, and I pulled off the cover, and I looked down, and immediately I was like, oh, because some little critter, probably a mouse.
Probably a rodent, yeah.
Or a chipmunk, something,
yeah,
had been feasting.
Could have been a squirrel, too.
It could have been a squirrel. Yeah, but it had been feasting on the plants that I had left behind and not harvested. So little cherry tomatoes, little jalapenos, and there was just piles of half-eaten veg in the four corners of the chair on the cushion. And I just went, oh, because it was, one, it's gross.
Yeah.
But two, I was sitting there going, gosh darn it. If I would have uncovered this sooner, if I would have maybe, I don't know, torn out my plants, taken care of them a couple weeks ago, maybe it wouldn't have given this little critter the opportunity to feed itself and leave behind its own little version of salsa on our chair in four different spots. I ended up having to decide, do I just cover it up, forget I saw it, and let it freeze throughout the winter, which I knew was not the choice.
It was a thought, but you knew it wasn't an option.
It was definitely a thought. Or do I take off the cushion and try and get the stuff off so that way when we pull it back out in the spring, we aren't disgusted and having to deal with it then.
Yeah.
So I did the adulting thing of saying, okay, let's try and get this half frozen on vegetables off of this cushion, get a warm soapy bucket of water or ice cream pail of water and clean it. So that's what I was doing yesterday, but it did get me thinking about what are those things that sometimes kind of become interruptions to your flow that maybe didn't need to be an interruption if you had just taken care of it sooner.
Right.
And I know you had something like that this week too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you were telling me, I'm like, oh, you had a little bit of an interruption. And then I was like, oh, so did I.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going about, I don't know if I was using chores as an excuse to not come down and do more work or if I was being the grown up and being like, oh, I need to do dishes and laundry and chores instead of going and playing downstairs with work, with creative stuff down here is a little more fun sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the dishes, then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start the laundry and go. And then I can do the fun thing.
Yeah.
Well, and I was like, oh, we're out of detergent. And I'm like, oh, I think I have some down in the cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and I grabbed it, and all of a sudden I looked down and I'm like, why is there detergent on the
Oh
washing machine?
no.
Why is it here? And also I'm like, oh no, it was leaking out of it was liquid, and
Oh
and I've
no.
been getting powder for like the
Yeah.
last while, and I kind of forgot about this detergent
Yeah.
until this time when like the old liquid detergent ran out. Because I think I'm the only one that uses it to use it up. But
Yeah.
anyway, it must have sat so long that the container failed,
Oh gosh.
right? Like I don't know, like it's just been
Yeah.
sitting in a
That's
cupboard.
not normally.
No,
Normally
I
detergent
don't, and
doesn't
I don't think
like free
I don't
itself.
think they put it in a. I wouldn't think they would put it in a container that it can like corrode. You know?
No, it's
Do you know
plastic. So
what I
I
mean?
wonder.
So
I hear you.
so it was an interruption,
Yeah.
and it's literally what I thought. I'm like, oh, this is an inconvenient thing I have to deal with now, and like the script in my head is like, I'm just trying to do the things I need to do so I can go and do the things I want to do.
Right.
So I grabbed a bunch of like washcloths and towels, and I created like washcloth detergent rags. So I'm like, oh, I guess
Okay.
I'll be using these
You know.
because the bottom of the cabinet was just like a 1/4 inch thick film, and I'm like, how long would it have how long has it been going? Because at a certain point, it was going to start spilling out and over like the lip of the cabinet, right?
Right.
And that, so it was one of those things where I had the same thought of if I had paying more attention earlier or tended to it, because here's the other thing that I think why I kind of forgot it was down there. We've had a box of like things to donate
Sure.
sitting there in front of that cabinet.
Oh yeah, for quite a while.
And then there's I think a cooler on it too
There is.
that
Yeah.
has bottles of water in it still.
Oh no, does it
I
really?
think so. And so I'm just like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh no, I actually, part of the reason I want to talk about it is it was an interruption, but it was also just life.
Right.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I bet Laura can help me reframe this or find words to be like, because I don't want to, because that interruption, when I'm like, oh, don't interrupt me, like, I think I brought that up before. And it's like, it has such a negative connotation.
Sure.
And there's so many things that if we're going to make something happen, there's so many little tasks that have to happen that may feel inconvenient, but it
Yeah.
moves you along and actually is what the work is a lot of times. Like,
Yeah.
besides just ideating, and all the fun creative stuff that we like to do. And,
Yeah.
we could, like, we talked and talked forever about maybe we should record video. And it's like, until you
We
actually hit record, it's just a bunch of talk. So it's kind of like spiraling out here right now. But like, that was like after I got done cleaning it all up and was like, calm down. And not that was calm down. It's a little much. But like, I took a beat to like sit down and like catch my breath.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, I'm like, well, that was an interruption. And I'm like, but what else was I going to do? Just like you said, not deal with it.
Right.
So I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it was just one of those things where, and it was towards the end of the week. And so I was supposed to be winding down.
Yeah.
And then I had to like ramp up and like fly into action. And then here you are, you're taking care of these chores, these seasonal chores that have to happen.
Yep.
But it's the weekend too. And it's like a little trickier because of the travel that you have to do to get back here and all that stuff. So I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting, I don't know if it's a paradox, but like it brings up the other thing I've been thinking of, and I think I shared it with you, the going between the fleeting gratification
Okay.
and enduring satisfaction. It brings that up a little bit because like it's not gratifying to clean up mouse nests or whatever happened,
Phase.
but it's required, right? It
Yeah.
has to get done. I mean, in a lot of ways, it has to get done.
Yeah. If
Or
we're going
else-
to keep the cushion, it has to get done.
Yeah, and
Right.
same with like, what was I gonna do? Just like see that mess and just close the cabinet and like deal with it later.
You're like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it has was it downstream ramifications, right? So I
Yeah.
don't know. My head's kind of swirling about it, and I don't obviously necessarily have it all figured out, but I think I want to not let interruptions slow me down so much because it's just life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's going to happen. And, you know, so far we've had some like surprises that weren't the good kind.
Yeah. Yeah. I will even say, and it is that time of year. So, I'm talking about like the mouse or chipmunk
Critter. Little
that
critter.
had little
Remember those
buffet.
books?
Yeah.
Did you read those books?
Little critter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. They're
Okay.
fun.
Sorry, critters.
Critters. But it's also that time of year where sometimes mice find their way in to either our garage or our house.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I was going downstairs to try and find child one something. I'm like, okay, come on, let's go find that musical instrument. Maybe it's in my office.
Yeah.
So I was walking in there, I turned on the light, and child one is like, there's a mouse. And I was like,
No.
what? And he goes, it was on the table and it jumped to your gray chair and then scurried. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and I had that moment. I'm like, okay, my reaction, shut the door.
Yeah.
So I can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And go get some mouse traps, load them up with peanut butter, and put them into my room to see if we can catch said mouse. Now, I didn't see it, but I did put some traps down. I checked them right before we started recording. We have not caught the mouse, but I don't know. I'm just unsettled. There's part of it too where I kind of feel violated a little bit.
Yeah.
That it is possibly in my room.
Yeah.
Just making itself at home, doing its darn thing, and I don't want to go in there. Even last night, like I was unsettled. Like I was sitting there. I remember you looked at me.
Well, because we came back upstairs after doing what we could do to deal with it.
Right.
Like we did what was in our control.
Right. Right now, that's what we're gonna do.
Yep. Like, okay, let's see if these couple traps get it. Like I even put tape on the bottom of your door.
You did,
I'm
so
like,
it can't get in and out. Well, it could.
It definitely can, but
it could.
We would probably see if it did.
Yeah.
It would push the tape away because
getting under the door or eating peanut butter. I mean, I would think peanut butter would be the choice.
That was a symbolic solution that I was hoping would be kind of like a Band-Aid to make you feel better. And so we came upstairs after that, and the rest of us got into the living room and like sat on chairs and like then the sofa, and then you were on the floor in front of the stairs. I think subconsciously.
Just kind of sitting there, zoning out.
And all of a sudden I realized it, and I said, "Are you just going to fall asleep across the stairs so the mouse doesn't come upstairs? Do you think that's going to work?" And you're like, "Maybe." And it was an interesting response. And I've had it before too, especially when the kids were younger.
Yeah.
And because like our backyard goes up to wild area.
Yeah. I mean, we're within a couple feet of a very wild hill and creek.
Which is amazing because we get lots of animals and we get birds and sometimes bear and
deer and
But
fox.
We've
had fox really close.
Yeah, I had a picture from when I was doing the deck.
So cool.
With that comes we need to do what we can to mitigate the pest problem, right?
Keep them out.
Yeah, and so we we put the bar bait in like nice little things that other like house pets can't get into, around the perimeter.
We try to be really safe around kids.
Yeah. And and
our neighbors' pets.
Yeah.
Right.
For me now it's like, okay, we've been through this rodeo a few times. It is annoying. And part of it is probably, well, it's in your room, so not as big a deal. If it was in my room, I would probably be in the same boat as you.
Or I'm just feeling.
But I'm like, well, I can hide down there for a while until it gets hungry and tries to eat the peanut butter. But yeah, you were definitely annoyed.
Unsettled.
Unsettled
and annoyed. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Like that was, another interruption, right? Because you were doing something else. You're trying to get the, we call it xylophone, but apparently Child 2 informed us it's a glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel. Yes.
I'm like, well, okay, tomato. But yeah, so that ended that quest.
It did. Quickly.
Yeah.
Yep, quickly. And, Child 1 even said, I mean, maybe I didn't see it, But I swear you said, if you thought you saw a mouse, you probably did. So let's just give it a couple beats.
Well, and so I heard that recently, and I'm like, yeah, that goes right along with if you see one, there's more, and that's unsettling enough.
Sorry. Oh no.
So I approach it with thinking, okay, we caught it early. Like it's the first one that's going to go tell the other people, but we're going to take care of it in time.
Yes.
Kind of thing. So
okay.
And that's that right there is the thing with these little side quests that appear for us instead of us choosing them. Is it's like you just got to deal with it right away.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, instead of letting it like become a post-it note, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just life. So all of these real life examples of being interrupted and moving right to action has got me thinking a little bit about things that we have maybe let sit or haven't paid attention to, or really we were doing something with and then just stopped. How do we get ourselves to jump to action without having it be something that has to happen right now? So I'm thinking about I know I've been working on writing a book, right, for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really doing words every day. I was writing. I was coming up with, this is how I artistically want it to look. I was making some conceptual and some tangible progress on the project. And it just kind of paused. I mean, I think I got busier at work. And
did you get interrupted?
Well, actually, I didn't think of that.
That's what I was thinking as you were talking. I'm like, oh, what interrupted you?
Yeah.
Because you were.
I was on a.
I thought of it a while ago. I'm like, I wonder how Laura's doing on that. But it's like, I'm not going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to feel like pressure.
Right. I will say I think I got interrupted just with work and trying to make sure that I was doing all the things that I wanted to do. I know this week I thought, oh, okay, so I'm at the apartment. No one's visiting this week, or child 2 didn't come out with me this week. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do in the evenings? I'm going to write. I think that would be good to get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did?
You made squash?
Oh, yeah. I did make a butternut squash hot dish. I did do that.
Yeah.
But I also watched Netflix. I watched football.
Yeah.
I did my Duolingo. I read. I relaxed.
So, that's what I was talking about, right? That's like fleeting gratification.
Yeah.
It's like short term, which isn't bad.
Right. But it was I don't want to say it was the only thing. The other thing I've been doing is prioritizing going to bed earlier so that I can get up and fit movement into my morning routine. That's been my thing. And so I did that last week, each morning, which I'm like, yes. And I'm going to do it this next week. So that was another thing. It condenses your night when you try and when you have to go to bed early.
Yeah.
Or, I'm normally like, I'm ready for bed around last night. What time was I falling asleep? 7:30.
Yeah. Oh, it was like 7:15, and I'm like, I glanced at you, and I'm like, oh, she's starting to nod off, and you fought through it for like 10 minutes, and then I caught you, and you were like, and I'm like, you're falling asleep. You're like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. I heard exactly what happened on the show.
Didn't you tell me it's like all the things that we didn't want when we were kids is like what we do now as adults?
Yeah.
Especially you, like.
Yeah. Things that were punishment when we were little are now goals when you're older. So eating healthy, working out, going to bed at 9:00.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's kind of true I'm like, I guess you're the adult, and like I'm the one that still stays up too late or gets crabby if he can't stay up late.
Yeah.
So okay, this is interesting because like I wasn't thinking I was gonna kind of keep talking about like that kind of instant gratification and that enduring stuff,
Yeah.
but you you tapped into to both. You tapped into like some of the joy of like relaxing at night
Yep.
and watching a show, and then you were doing things in the morning that were more things that were going to elongate like your satisfaction over life,
Yep.
working out and taking care of yourself, and I'm guessing probably journaling,
Journaling. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I did a lot of journaling last week too.
Well, and the journaling, I think how you started asking, what you started asking about was like, how do you kind of navigate
Mm-hmm.
the things that kind of fall off to the side?
Yeah.
I've noticed the more I write things down, even if I don't get to them, I get to them sooner than if I simply think of them. I know I've said this a bunch of times, but this last week I was looking back over, okay, what have I been writing down
Okay.
in my journal that and I try to like write like what are the top three things, if I do these three things today, I'm going to feel good about myself, even if I don't get to the other four things that I really have in the back of my head of like, I bet I can do that too, right? I
Sure.
overestimate what I can get done in a day sometimes,
Me too.
right?
Yeah.
And one of them was working on the website,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been writing it down for weeks, and it's been just one of those tertiary things where it's like when I have a moment of free time and I've done the things that need to get done, this is one of those things that I can come back to and be like, okay, you can work on this or that other thing, and that's
Right.
one of them. Well, I actually did it finally because I've been writing it down,
Okay.
and so that to get, I guess I'm steering us back to like, how do you start back up like you with the writing,
Right. How do I get back
right?
to a routine?
I mean, it's probably a little trickier for you to write about that you want to write. Like,
A
but
little meta there, right? Writing
yeah,
about writing.
right or correct. And yet it's actually, it's awareness,
Right.
making it prominent and in
Yep.
front of mind in a way, right? So,
Yeah.
and I know that'll get into like prioritization and stuff, but like that gets hard because there are so many priorities daily and weekly
Mm-hmm.
in life. It's not just work,
Yeah.
and you got to be there and do things for the kids, and you need to do things for me too, and I need to
Yeah.
do things for you. Like we're pulled in all these different directions.
Right.
So I don't know. The biggest thing for me is like I don't like to live off of lists, but they really help me, and
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
more of a brain dump, and then I can helps me organize. I don't know if I just it's so much easier for me to visualize or rearrange things like, and I don't tap into it very much, and I should probably do like what you do with like the note cards or the post-its
Oh,
so that I can move them around
yeah.
instead of trying to it's like
Do it mentally.
mental math,
Sure.
is like
Yeah.
mental math is easier than like organizing my day in my head. So I don't know.
No, I think lists can be really important. I have to I know I put a lot on post-its and it turns into, like you were saying, I use post-its a lot, one post-it to five to then eventually by the end of the week, I'm like, oh, I have to take all my post-its and combine them onto one big post-it. I don't even know what size they are, but they're the ones that are like this size.
Yeah.
Um, and so I get like the big to-do post-it. But I will say one thing that I found helps me is scheduling it onto my calendar too. So I can't remember what it was that you got to oh, I remember you got a reminder to yourself to get a hammer for me to bring to the apartment
Yeah.
because so
I reset that for 3 days straight for different times because I was predicting when, okay, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I bet I'll have a window
yeah.
to do it. And then that came and passed. And that's why I reset it for like 10 o'clock the next morning. And like, this is like days before you were even back to get it.
Really?
Right? Yeah. Because you asked me and I'm like,
That's
I better
right, I
set a
did,
reminder.
didn't
So
I?
anyway, sorry. I got excited because
No.
it wasn't working, but it was.
Right.
I kept at it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's I think that helps, and I like the idea that you set up that timer at various points in the day.
Hmm.
So sometimes I have appointments that are standing. So I have one for my morning routine from 5 to 7, and it's on my calendar. It pops up every day. I don't look at it every day because it's just there. It's not different. I expect it, you know? So it kind of sometimes things like that can fall into the background if you're not intentional about where am I putting it, when am I seeing it. And so I like that. I love that you had that reminder and put it on 3 different days at different times because it introduces something new and surprising for your brain to be like, oh, pay attention to that,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
I just kept changing the time of the one reminder, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I mean I do set, like, if I have an appointment, there'll be a it'll be in the calendar, like the digital calendar. I'll write it down on my like little pocket calendar that I carry with me.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been paying that much attention to, or as much attention as I want to lately. So
Hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up because it is something that helps me. And but like I'll have an appointment on my phone, which will show up on my computer. I'll sometimes write it down, but it's always like the device that we always have, right?
Yeah.
But then I'll also set a reminder, and I'll also set like the second alert for like travel time. So I don't know why. Like I didn't used to be that way, but I think it just frees my brain up to not have to remember and to use that energy.
Hmm.
Like I want to know what's coming, but I don't want to be thinking of, okay, it's coming in 12 hours, it's coming in 11 hours. Like I'm not quite that obsessive, but I have found that if it's something I don't want to miss, instead of me internalizing that I don't want to forget, it's like, well, write it down and your phone will remind you. Like
Yeah.
it's like a personal assistant. Like use the tools it has.
You know what's interesting? We're talking about interruptions for good a little bit,
Hmm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
even a to-do list somewhat can be an interrupter into getting you to be like, okay, let me refocus on the things that I'm trying to prioritize.
Yeah.
It kind of shifts
Yeah.
a little
Like,
bit.
oh, definitely. I like that. Yeah, I need to interrupt me interrupt my default of simply being,
Yeah.
like, not, and maybe it's, like the trap the royal we fall into as people sometimes, like,
Oh, I thought you were talking about a mousetrap. Sorry.
no, no, no.
Sorry.
We wait to be motivated before we
Yeah.
act, right?
Yep.
We've brought this up,
Oh gosh, that's a
and
script that really
it
is.
came up again this week for me. I don't need to wait to be motivated to go for a walk. I need to go for a walk and realize how much better I feel after I do it,
Yeah.
or, oh, I should really work out, and it's like, well, no, actually, like, you're not going to stop what you're doing right now and do it, but on your way back to the studio, I stop at the weight bench and I just do some like incline push-ups or something.
Yeah.
Like just these little micro things is like getting me closer to the blocking the time, I guess. But so
Sure.
it shouldn't be that hard, right? There's like that script in our head, but it's like that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Like
I get you.
it getting back to where you want to be is hard work,
Hmm.
especially when there are so many other things going on. And so scheduling it and
Yeah.
writing a list, like I like that. Like you said, it can provide that accountability that doesn't have to be internal.
Yeah.
Like get it out of your head and then realize like, oh, like it's written down here and it says somebody said to do it now, and it's you, but like
Right.
you can pretend it's like schedule it for yourself,
Yeah. Well, and one thing I think about every day when I'm journaling and kind of planning the day, I know that I am showing up as my best self in the morning with my best interest in mind. That's keeping track of what are my goals, not just for the day, but what are my goals long term? And so knowing that what I do from a planning standpoint and setting my intentions for the day during my morning routine really is past Laura helping, like current state Laura in the evening, make choices that she's proud of. Right? So whether that is, it can be anything from spending a half hour to an hour to write instead of 2 hours watching Netflix, right? Like maybe I spend half that time writing, or even if it's, you know what, I'm not going to pick something up at a fast food restaurant on the way home. I'm going to have the stuffed peppers I made, which are also fantastic. And so I feel like sometimes setting those lists, intentions, and to-do lists when you're in your best state can help make future decisions for yourself, especially when you have decision fatigue. And that's me at the end of a day.
Yeah. Oh, it's never great especially it's like going shopping when you're hungry, right? Making decisions when you're
Just don't do
depleted.
it.
Yeah. I don't think I make the best decisions when I'm depleted.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's probably the biggest reason why you and I openly talk about taking care of ourselves,
Yeah.
because our decisions affect each other. Therefore, how we take care of ourselves affect each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just setting yourself up for success, right? It takes time. So like you're talking about how the mornings are like prime time for you to set those intentions.
Yep.
And my instant reflex is to say like, yeah, I'm more effective or more efficient at night. And it's like, I don't know if I am. It's just like, that's when I feel more like acting
Mm-hmm.
and doing things.
Sure.
But I am finding like because I feel like I don't, I feel lazy in the mornings because I'm a slow starter.
Sure.
And then I ramp up and then all of a sudden it's afternoon and I'm like, let's go, like, let's do things. And you're like, I'm getting ready to wind down, kind of thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
just how we are. Like, we're just a little different. But I think I'm dismissing the fact that just my way of working is just a little slow to start. And it is important when I take the time to set my intentions, even if it's just me sipping coffee and like I'm not greeting the morning as intensely as you, but whatever I am doing is still really important to set me
Yeah.
up. It's like I'm not doing a HIIT workout like you. I'm not doing circuit training in the morning. Actually, I had the most success doing weight training and strength training
Mm-hmm.
when I was going after work at like 8 at night, like years
Yeah.
ago. After working a full day, like
Mm-hmm.
it was hard, but it was like I felt better after I did it. It like helped me get more tired.
Yeah.
After working however many hours, like doing manual
Yeah.
labor and then
Sure.
going and doing more. But like it was setting me up to show up better. And I went a few times a week and I saw results. And so I guess I'm bringing it up because whatever works for somebody. And
Yeah.
whatever this thing, it's on our corkboard and I see it all the time. Everything you're doing is working.
Mm. Yep.
And so whatever you're doing is giving you the results that you're getting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
choosing what you do is going to affect what you get out as a result. And so when I was making different choices, I was getting different results. Right?
Yeah.
And so right now, what I'm doing is getting me what I have. And it's up to us to decide, is this what I want? And if not, how am I going to prioritize? How am I going to
Mm-hmm.
organize? How am I going to schedule and make those choices that gives me the other thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
am I going to, I don't need to write for 4 hours every night.
Right.
Maybe I need to write for 25 minutes and see how that feels, right? Like for you,
Yeah.
like, I don't know why I'm giving you an example for you.
No, but I think that is really, really true. And it resonates with me because sometimes you do just need to think about what is that next step that you can take. And 25 minutes of writing is more than I'm doing right now. And what I'm doing right now, to your point, is getting me the results, right, that I'm
Yeah.
currently getting, which is I have thousands of words written, and I have a project that is just kind of on pause right now. Um, and I don't exactly want that result. I want to keep moving forward. And to do that, I have to think about what are some of those inputs, like you
Yeah.
were saying. Yeah, I really like that. I don't know if it's a quote or a mantra. It's more of a mantra, maybe.
Yeah.
The what you're doing, everything you're doing is working,
Yeah.
right?
Because it's empowering, but it's also accountability. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I come from it more of like oh, that's right. Like for the scale, for instance, my weight. Well,
Mm-hmm.
everything I'm doing is leading to what that number says. Like that's how I take it. Like,
Yeah.
which might sound a little harsh, and I'm not trying to project that on anybody else. But then the other side of that is when I'm making the right choices and I'm getting the results I'm seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, right choices. Sorry. When I'm making those decisions and I'm happy with the result, that's also working. So tapping into both when it's appropriate, you know, like shaming myself into changing isn't the healthiest way, right?
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
can work for a while, but like what's sustainable? What's going to endure? The
Yeah.
long-term stuff, and building in like little things that like help help with the motivation. Like
Yeah.
like there's nothing wrong with a little celebration of a small win or something, or like, if you write, if your goal is to write a book,
Mm-hmm.
like make sure that you're finding the little ways along the way to appreciate and kind of celebrate the process, because that's the point,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
right?
true.
Like,
Can I
yeah,
tell you one thing I had done in the past, but I'm not doing right now.
yeah,
But it's nerdy. But there was a time when a couple years ago that I was training to run 5Ks, and I did several 5Ks and 10K, and really, really enjoyed running. Um, but after I would do either a strength training workout or a run, but I'd look at myself, I'd be like, way to go, high five. And I give myself a high five,
yeah,
because sometimes I didn't want to show up for those training runs.
yeah,
Sometimes I didn't want to do leg day because I knew my quads were going to hurt for a couple days later, but I knew each of those pieces and those workouts were important for me to get to the point where I could run a 5K, I could run a 10K and show up and crush the goal that I had for myself. And so, like you said, those small recognitions I do think are really important, even if it's just, in the mirror, hey, high five, you did it.
yeah.
Way to
Well,
go.
and so we're kind of talking through and maybe around like how do you get, like, so say that was something you wanted to get back into, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's writing, whatever project it is, like for me, weight training, right? And it's fallen off, and I have not been consistent with it, and I haven't, created the habit,
Sure.
that, you know, that feels so daunting sometimes to like say like, oh, I haven't cemented this habit. It's like you want to be the kind of person that works out every day. Like it's really a good thing to be active, right? And to have flexibility and mobility, right? And have strong muscles, especially as we age, right?
Yeah.
Like all the science points to like how it's beneficial to
It's great
like,
for your bone health,
yeah,
right?
maintain that muscle mass, right? And be
Yep.
active.
Yeah.
And then like then what? Like how, like what are the steps to start again, right? Or you know what I mean? Like you're not, because like the motivation is going to come from the action, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's just something there in my head where it's like, okay, like what's the first step? And it's almost like like that high five is focusing on the gain and not the gap, right? The gap and the gain. Remember,
Sure.
we
Yeah.
talked
Oh, I
about that
remember
book.
talking about that.
Maybe that's something that would be beneficial for me to remind myself of, like, over the next couple weeks, to keep the things going of, like, okay, because I think the daunting part is thinking of the end goal and how far away it is versus,
Right.
like you didn't want to go out on that training run, but you did it, and then you high-fived yourself. You
Right.
celebrated, right?
Yeah.
So getting to that point is pretty hard if you're focused on, well, I don't really want to go and do this training run, and I have this, 10K or 13K or whatever later, and it's
Yeah.
like it's like pushing off, like, the book report until 2 days before it's due, kind of thing. Like, that's what
Mm-hmm.
we get into, that
Yeah.
habit. But so it's like, I don't know, like, I, I think everybody wants, not everybody, sorry. I think my brain wants, like, what's the quick fix? Like, what's the pill I could take, right? Like,
Mm.
and like, I'm not, I don't, that has different connotations now, but, like, quick fix, right? And, like,
Yep.
I think, because I don't know, I'm rambling because I don't think I have an answer, but it's like the shortcuts don't work.
Yeah.
It's actually showing up and doing the thing, even though you might not feel like it. But if you actually, like, sit down and analyze, well, the only reason I'm thinking about not doing it is because I said I wanted it at one point, and therefore the only way to do it is to actually show up, and it's not going to be perfect, and then it's a process, and you know. Anyway, I'll stop rambling.
No, I think that our brains, that narrative of a quick fix, it's really um it really kind of seduces you into thinking
Magic beans, right?
it's kind of, yeah, it's like it definitely kind of says, like, okay, it's going to be easier. There's got to be a simpler solution, right? Um, but at the end of the day, a lot of it is showing up when you don't necessarily want to show up, and being willing to do something even when it might not be perfect, you know?
Yeah, and then
Um,
doing it again.
and then doing it again.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, whoa, look how far I am, right? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I will say the last couple weeks I've been trying to use hacks to just get me to do something more than what I was doing, which I was doing journaling, I was doing planning my day, but I wanted to incorporate that movement in. And so I've been using Mel Robbins' hack of, once your alarm goes off, you count from 5 down to 1, and at 1, you get out of bed.
Is that the 5-second rule?
Yeah,
Was that
yep.
that?
So
Okay.
it's, the alarm goes off, and yeah, I could hit snooze, but you're not going to get back to bed. You're not actually going to get that much more sleep. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up, go,
Yeah.
right? Just go. It's leg day. You got some weights to lift,
Yeah.
you know? So it doesn't always work. But even yesterday, I did that because I was sitting there in our kitchen because I had cleaned up all the plants and I was going to move onto the patio furniture and get the cushions before I knew there was a mess waiting me.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on a stool drinking some water. Yeah, I think you came up and you said, "What you doing?" And I said, "I'm waiting. I'm gonna go do the furniture now." And you're like, "Okay." And I was sitting there, I'm like, "Okay, Laura, 5, 4, 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go. Just go."
I heard you count down out loud
Did you? I can't
as I
remember
was.
if I did or if I
Yeah, yeah.
didn't.
I kept moving because I didn't want to get sucked into being an excuse for you to not move into action. So
Got you.
I kind of like entered the room and asked what you were doing, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this motivated, and I kind of turned and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get out of here,
Yeah.
and
And
just
you're
like
like,
I'm
no.
like, you work through it. You're like, you can do this. You
Yeah.
got this. That, and I probably felt a little guilty that you're out doing it, but I'm like, she's the one that wanted all this stuff and did it, so she can
Well,
clean
it
it up.
doesn't take that long. It's
No.
just, it's just one more thing. Um, And when you're done and it's cold and, you don't quite want to do it, but
I'd be like, it's better than being like 90 degrees, but I don't know
Mhm.
if it is for you.
No, I'd rather be out in 90-degree weather
Yeah.
doing it nice and cozy.
Sunburn.
Yeah, instead of having like frozen fingers trying to.
Wear gloves.
Yeah, I know. I
Or
could
you
do
could just
that.
say to me, wear sunscreen.
That's true. See, wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say that's one thing that I've been putting into place is that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5-second rule.
Yeah.
And I know there's other things like that that can help get you kind of moving and jumping to action when you feel like you've had this pause in something that you want to do and you're finding it difficult to move. I know another one that is around habit stacking. I think that's James Clear. What are habits that you already have in place? And then how can you tether a new desired habit to that thing that's already solid?
Mhm.
So I'm just thinking for me, from a writing standpoint, I don't know if I have anything solid in the evening for a habit to be attached to. So I might need to think about that a little bit. I could see it being tethered to my morning routine, but I might need to work through that this week and see if there's something
Well,
I can.
I got something that might help
Okay.
because I'm going to start trying it, especially for the evenings, so that I can either transition into or away from work. Because once I start working, I can tend to not stop and I'll just keep going. And all of a sudden it's like 7:30 and it's like pitch black now by that point.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'll come out of the room and I'll be like, whoa, what time is it? And I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I've been sitting way too long, you know. So I drink coffee in the morning. It's part of my ritual, right?
Yep.
Like not it is. Like all of a sudden I realize like, oh, that's my ritual. I wake up, I get a cup of coffee, and then
Yeah.
I sit and write. So I'm looking to do the same thing in the evenings with some like decaffeinated green tea.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I know you and I
That's
both
right.
like tea. We like different kinds of tea,
Yeah.
but that could be something like a ritual or it's like a trigger,
Yeah.
positive trigger or a signal
Yeah.
that's like, oh, now I'm shifting into this space, you know?
I like
So,
that. Yeah, you and I were just talking about how it um it could be really great to end and how much it would feel um like we were taking care of ourselves
yeah,
and treating ourselves as well by having a cozy glass of tea at bedtime. And how you had gotten your decaf tea.
yeah,
And I have a whole slew of teas.
yeah, you do.
I love tea, but that's something I could try this week of, maybe around 8 or 8:30 as I'm winding down for bed, I make a cup of tea and um I pull up my documents and I start
Yeah,
writing for about a half hour as I enjoy tea.
yeah. The yeah, like finding just little signals. Like for me, it's when I pivot out of here and doing the work. Like the idea of having like getting like a nice mug of tea and moving the scene, right? Putting myself in a different area,
Yeah,
and then for me, lighting is important and like it affects my mood.
true.
Like I mean, it does for everybody, but like like the ambiance and like what's the vibe in a room, and so like I put different bulbs in like my lamp so I can change the color. So just little things like they're kind of like little treats, but like
Yeah.
but they're like literally signals to tell me like, oh, now it's the time to shift um and at the same time need to like we're talking about like that and then like lists and writing things down and I'm kind of laughing to myself while we're talking about that and like trying to form new habits and I have like I said I need to get like all my notes and like I
Oh
have
goodness.
all
You
like
have 4 notebooks there.
these are my like yeah I'm like oh and there's probably still one I don't know where I set it like it's not in my back pocket it's set it somewhere so like I have all these notebooks so
Sure.
I'm a little scattered even though I'm trying to not be. And so therefore it's like, okay, consolidating those things and
Yeah.
I guess creating specific things, or I don't want to say like processes, but another new notebook isn't going to solve me moving forward with a project
Right.
if I can't handle the four I already have. So I maybe need to like
Yeah.
be a little more diligent about how I'm capturing things and
Sure.
organization, I think.
Yeah.
It's not super fun, or maybe doesn't sound fun. The idea of it sounds fun, but like the execution of it, I'm a little scattered. But like that's, I guess maybe that's another thing is like, and I've brought up like my capture system isn't as robust as I want it to be,
Sure.
which means that I might have all these great ideas, but where did I write it down? Which notebook is that?
Sure.
And especially if it's like a little pocket notebook, like they're easy to get covered up by anything, if you don't remember where it is. But like for me, having that cup of tea and then being like, oh, and now it's the time for you to grab that one notebook, and whether or not you brain dumped in it, do that now, or go back over what did you write down and then maybe carry that forward
Yeah.
into onto the new page.
Yep.
And it keeps those things front of mind like I was talking about. And yep, that's right, I wanted to work on that. I wanted to work on setting up the other microphone, that not really, but like say I was,
Yeah.
but I didn't get to it. Well, that gets brought forward,
Yep.
just like when I needed to find the hammer for you, keep moving it forward. And if the worst case scenario is I'm looking for it 5 minutes before I shut the garage door because the car is warming up and I'm on my way to see you,
Yeah.
like I want to do it before then. The
Yeah.
intention
Yeah.
is to have it done and sitting in the car so I don't forget it. But, creating, I don't know, check-ins or fail safes, or
Sure.
I don't know, like, and pairing that with rituals and signals,
Yeah.
I think can maybe be powerful for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's very what's the word I'm trying to think of?
I don't know. It sounds like you're going to praise me though.
No, I am. It's very reflective
Yeah.
of you. That's what I was going to say. Very reflective.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I think it's important though to have that ability to reflect and realize what are those things that will work for you and try them.
Yeah.
I know.
Try things that you don't think will work, maybe.
Right.
Because like that's how I can be. I was like, well, that won't work for me.
Right.
Getting up at 5:30 won't work for me. It's like, well, try it.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
No. I was going to add that I remember listening to John Acuff, his book,
All it takes is a goal.
that one. I'm like the one about goals.
Yeah.
All it takes is a goal, and he talked a lot about creating the conditions.
Yeah.
For making you want to do the actions you're trying to do. So he was talking about writing as well because he's an author, obviously. And he was saying, I had candles that had this many hours of burn time.
Yeah.
And so I would light the candle, and I had special writing shoes, that I really enjoyed. And so I'd put on my writing shoes, and I'd have my writing shoes and my candle. I also think that I can't remember what the goal was, but he had gotten himself a roll of the golden dollar coins.
Okay.
And every time he showed up and did the thing he committed to for that day, he would give himself one of the golden dollar coins into a jar or something like that. And he admitted, he goes, it's silly. I have money that I'm paying myself.
Yeah.
That's mine, that I took out of the bank in this symbolic gesture, right? But it's those little things that can make it a little bit more tangible and say, okay, I showed up and did the thing. I'm creating the conditions that make it more exciting, and exciting might not be the word, but make it So you look forward to being in that space too.
Yeah.
Like I love candles and I love having a candle going. We can't have that in the apartment. So during the week I can't use that one. But I did get some battery operated ones that are actually pretty darn good,
Yeah.
you know?
I charged the batteries for you.
I appreciate that.
I don't know if you noticed yet. I don't know if you've used them.
I haven't used them yet.
Ooh.
So this week will be a good week with some fully charged candles. But being able to have the table clean where I write and the candles going and a cup of tea, like that sounds lovely.
Yeah. Making the process alluring,
Yeah.
kind of, or the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something where you feel a little taken care of, a little special. I think that's, well, I'll be honest, that's probably part of the reason I really like writing in coffee shops because I because I get to go and listen to music, and some of them have like a nice little cozy fireplace, so you feel nice and warm and cozy.
Yeah.
You get a nice coffee or tea and spoil yourself a bit.
I couldn't concentrate doing that, and
Yeah.
yet I can come in here and I can have like a movie on in the background with the sound turned down and like three browser windows open.
So many inputs.
Yeah, but it's like for me I just have a different white noise filter,
Right.
right? So that's why I'm like, yep, whatever works for you. Like I'm a little jealous that works for you because it's like something to do, right? Or
Yeah.
me, I'm just like I'm sitting here putzing around and like making everything just right here and then just sitting here. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like it's me. Like it's what works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, find those things that work, right?
Yeah, find the things that work and put them in place. Set those conditions that can also help kind of get you unstuck or unpause. Be the interrupter to get you moving again.
Yeah. I really like I think I'm going to hold on to because I've heard the phrase before, but the creating the conditions,
Yeah,
right? Like we have the ability to do that.
yeah, it's in our control.
Yeah. Yeah. And when a lot of things don't feel like they are, and a lot of
Yeah.
things aren't, like
Right.
whether or not the mouse has a buffet on our thing,
Yeah,
like we kind of created those conditions. We could look at it that way, but in a certain part, it's like it was probably going to happen one way or another because there's only so much you can do. Like, what were we going to do? Like, tie it up with a rope and hang it from a tree? You know?
it still could get to it there.
Exactly, right? So, not quite in our control, but in a way, we also created those conditions, I guess. But yeah, it's a balancing act,
Yes.
and figuring out, testing, finding what works. Like, I guess maybe having the posture of like that's exciting or can be exciting, or how can I make that exciting and fun versus daunting of like I don't know what works. It's like
Yeah.
like that's something I've worked on, right? Changing that perspective of okay, what do I have to gain?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm uncertain, but that means there's possibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what exactly to call that, but just coming at it from a different angle, I guess.
Yeah.
From my brain.
Yeah.
Has been helpful. So anyway,
That's good.
anything else?
I don't think so. I like where we went though today.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought so too.
Good little exploration. All right, well, let's just wrap it up.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you too.
Yay.